Hey, 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 hey! Good afternoon, good evening, good night, or good morning, depending on where in the world you guys are watching this show.
And this show this week is brought to you by Cavonia!
Not just Cavonia, but other cough syrups are available. I don't know how I'm still upright right now. It's been a funny one. It's been a funny one.
Whose turn is it to be poorly?
I know. Whose turn is it anyway? Yeah. Absolutely.
Yes.
How are you guys? We hope you're good. I just realised I'm getting strangled by a cable. It'll work.
All the complaints need to be put in writing and sent to someone else other than me.
Outside the front door. That's fine.
Why, hello, Mick from NYC.
And happy St. Andrew's Day to you too.
Oh, yeah, Jaggy.
Yes, and if you guys are ducking out in 55 minutes or 54 minutes to watch some football as well, just think that England are already through.
Yay! Yes. Hey, Alfred.
Playing against Senegal on Sunday. Looking forward to that.
We were just looking at Alfred's name the other day.
We were, actually. We were looking because Alfred has been a Q Corner Rockstar member, or as it was before that, since the beginning.
As Alfred would say, marginally longer than Hetty.
Yes, yes.
by
so we were looking. We were just actually looking at how long we've had memberships going.
Hey,
and
Greg.
And Alfred, you win for the longest member. So thank you very much for your support. And that's why you have that little party, Mr. Q, next year.
Just for you, so far.
Yes. And hello, Greg.
That's it, yes.
There we go. So Riggs a lot.
It took you a second there.
Yeah, I was going there as well because it was yes.
Mr. Daisy. Speaking to Greg. Hi.
Yes. Can you come down a second? Yeah. Can you move some heavy stuff?
All my conversations are, hi.
Yeah, I know.
That seems so long
And
ago now.
it was July. I was actually looking at some footage because we were working on another project in the behind the scenes, but and I was looking at some footage from Balloon Wonderland. So yeah,
I still have on since then, which is the longest I've worn anything.
Oh yeah, yes. His Give Kids the World band, which it could be any band now.
Now it's just red.
It is just red.
But it's significant to
and
me.
it's been washed twice.
It has, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
because it rained.
There's something about the print. So the outside print's gone, but the inside print still
the made in China part.
So my feedback to the manufacturer of this band is, how did he get that print to stay on, but not the outside print?
That's too funny.
I need to let them know about this.
That's too funny.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, we hope you guys have been enjoying the World Cup and taking advantage of
what's
any
Luke
events.
Saying there that we are
He's
nearly
saying
out.
that they're nearly out. Tomorrow they're going to be out.
Are they allowed in though? Doesn't it have to be like a country?
Like a country. It's close enough. Yeah, it's like a country but smaller.
Love you, Luke.
Yeah. Yes.
I did enjoy watching it though, and I'm not a football person.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed watching it because we were winning.
Yeah. Let's get through the Senegal match and then we'll see from there.
Yeah.
I'm sure all of you guys are rooting for England all the way through, if you are from the USA and they're still in.
Yes, I have seen.
USA versus the Netherlands will be interesting.
Yeah, some fantastic decor done.
Yes.
Yes, so well done, you guys who've been doing football decor, celebrating your home countries. The ones I've seen are fantastic. I know Pioneer Europe did a really good post though, for lots of different ideas to use and share on that, so that was pretty cool. Yeah,
so supporting your own country's teams as well, and if you're from Scotland, supporting other people's teams, namely Wales the other night, which, yes, there we go.
Good game, though.
Jackie.
Good game.
Okay, so tonight we've got a couple of things that we want to go through. First of all, we want to talk a little bit about an education roundup for things that are up and coming for the beginning of next year.
That's right. Also, and I didn't check this, but you might want to check it. There was a Cyber Monday deal as well.
Oh, yes, for PEL.
Yes, so for Pioneer Europe, so if you are in the UK or within Europe and buy directly from Pioneer Europe, they had a Cyber Monday deal on.
Which is going until the 4th of
December, but please check that.
Yeah.
There was a couple of things posted on Facebook today, so make sure you're tapped into your social media outlets for your appropriate distributors and your regions to make sure you're up to date with all of what's going on. But some cool Christmas... I know Anna from Pioneer had shown some cool bubbles. I know we've got a couple of them as well, and they're very nice. So we're feeling all festive here. Lots of elves being prepared and the like for going out the door, ready for people to wake up tomorrow morning. Is it the first tomorrow?
30 days of September to November. Yes, it is the 1st of December tomorrow.
National Elf Day.
Yes.
As it now is.
The elf is back on the shelf.
That's right.
For the elves.
This is where today everybody around the world's going, where did I put the elves?
Yeah, or on the other side is the fact that people like us have been hammering the Super Stuffer machine, which we've been getting hold of the new Super Stuffer machine.
We've just got only 2 weeks ago, I think, the new. What's the name of it, Keith? What is the name?
It's the Puff and Stuff.
Puff and Stuff. So we've always used a different machine before. We've got the new one because it actually fits better in our new shop space.
Yes.
Because the other one before, the way it was, it had the motor inside and it was a big wheeled round thing.
Yeah.
Brilliant piece of kit.
Fantastic.
I don't think you could even get them last year because it was so popular. But it is a big machine. However, the Puff and Stuff is of a similar. Yeah. It's a similar ball. But it's a bit more portable and it fits where we want it to be.
Yes.
And it uses, so it's a bit more cost effective for a lot of
it
people.
uses just a standard electric air inflator.
Which most people already have.
We use the premium Balloon Accessories Micro Air, which is like the mug one. It's ideal for it.
Works brilliant for it, but any of the air inflators that you probably already have will work for it.
Yeah.
So it works in a different principle. The other one used to suck the balloon open into the ball,
where
the new one blows the balloon up into the ball. But essentially it works exactly the same way as the other one, but it works.
If there's enough interest as well, let us know and we will do a Q Corner on the Puff and Stuff machine.
Yes. Now, I do think Pioneer Europe again. They've been busy old bees. Have done a video from Julie. Julie Dunham, who's been up with us before. She did a demonstration of how the machine works as well. So if you don't know at all what it's about, you can check that one out, and it's just a sort of a how-to of the machine. But as Keith said, if there's enough interest, we shall do some and share some designs that we've done, and there's some really good designs out there which we can have a look at as well.
Yeah, just different techniques using the stuffer machines.
Yeah, and the principles go for most of the machines as well. So most of the designs that are done are usable across all the machines that are out there as well. I've seen some amazing homemade ones. It's like
I know. Yeah, like the big bucket one. And things like that.
Some really, really cool things though. But so that's a little change around for our store that we've done that's fitted in nicely, and that's a recent product that's come out.
Yep,
and it's fab.
So, going back onto education, next year, beginning in January, the big...
It sounds so far away, but it's not.
No, I know, it's just over a month away. Starting in the year, we've got the Florida Super Jam.
That sounds warm. I mean...
on the 11th to the 14th of January, in guess where? Florida, because the clue was in the title.
I was going to say in Jam.
Jam. Okay. And then moving on from there, on January the 24th, we have Happy Hour with Cam and Eve.
Happiest of hours with Cam and Eve.
Yes, we also have a Happy Hour coming up in December as well, December the 6th.
Do we?
Excuse me.
That's a lot of happy hours. So what's the December the 6th? Why is that not on there?
It is, because I said I was starting from January. And
then you remembered. So yeah, just to make sure
had it in my head.
That's not the next happy hour, the January one. There is a December one as well.
December the 6th.
So you have to show some festive love for the ladies on happy hour.
Yes. And then starting in February, we will have the Nuremberg trade show in Germany, and we'll also have the Spring Fair in Birmingham in the UK.
Was the Nuremberg on last year?
No.
So yes, so this is it was cancelled.
Hola, Shelley. Hola.
So it was cancelled last year for obvious reasons. So
it's because we couldn't make it to the cancel.
That was it. Yeah,
that was the obvious
as obvious
reason
as you can get. So that'll be back on. So that'll be great. A lot of European and international customers.
If you do want to go to the trade show, get yourself booked in to go and pop onto the Qualitech stand and say hello.
Yes,
we won't be there, but Luke Luke's in the chat at the moment. I'm sure he's going to tell me that he will definitely be there, but he will be there. He's always there. So get over there and see
Fastest fingers first, Luke. No pressure.
See what fantastic designs Luke is creating.
Now, if Luke was going to really impress us, he put the link in as well of where you'd go for that something.
Yeah, see, indeed, 22 was cancelled.
Okay. Now we need Now we need the confirmation, Luke.
Yes. Whereas, if all things being equal, we should be at the Spring Fair in the Birmingham NEC.
That's right. What date's that, Keith?
It is in February.
Excellent. Now you can register for that.
It's free.
Oh, yes, and a German guest.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
I like the intrigue. Excellent stuff.
Yeah.
So, Spring Fair, you can go to springfair.com, I think it is, but you can register for Spring Fair.
And it's free tickets.
Yeah, you can check out where the stand is for Qualitex on there as well and see who else you would like to visit, but you certainly come and see us now.
Yeah, we always have the biggest stand. So.
Now, very important. He's got to go, what? We are... As of now, waiting for a delivery.
Yes.
And that delivery...
Are you going to get one? I'll talk to them. You won't get them. So we've got a delivery of some new... it's a giveaway for all of our Rockstar members. So if you do come to the Spring Fair and you are a Rockstar member, come along and show us, and we will give you... it's a little gift. We are saying thank you for coming to see us, and also thanks for supporting us by being a Rockstar member. Now, Dom is coming flying down the stairs from the office upstairs, and he has picked up off his computer, or off mine, I can't remember which one it was, off both.
The prototypes.
Prototypes, yes. There we go. Ready? Zoom in. Oh, now these are just prototype ones. The ones that you will receive are actually the Rockstar ones. And so they're little pin badges that you can wear on there.
One of a kind, only one of 7 million made.
Yes, one of only 7 million on that day to be made. So yeah, if you are coming to the Spring Fair,
He's going to stand there.
I'll put him on there
Look
for
at
the
that.
moment there. If you are coming to the Spring Fair, come and see us. Show us the fact that you're a Rockstar member. And the Spring Fair is in the UK. It's in Birmingham Trade Show.
Definitely worth travelling to. So anybody in the US, anywhere like that, who want to come over, you're more than welcome. You'll get a badge.
Yep, you get a Rockstar badge.
It's worth the trip.
And our thanks. So, yeah, that's the Spring Fair. And then moving on from the Spring Fair.
We're not just stop there, because
No.
that's the most important thing of the year so far.
No, because then we've got
There's more.
Capital Kidvention, which
Yay.
is in Washington, D.C.
Oh, thanks, Jackie. Oh, I think she means Q. Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Come on, yeah.
Actually, in Virginia, the Capital Kidvention, of
That
course.
doesn't sound as warm as Florida Super Jam.
No. Then February 21st, we have Happy Hour with Cam and Eve. Then February 22nd to the 26th, there's Twist and Shout. Then we've got some more Cam and Eve, Happy Hour with Cam and
Now,
Eve.
Keith.
Of course, we've got, what else we've got as well? March.
Oh, is there something going on in March?
March,
I've
yes.
never noticed anything for March.
March. Well,
Tell me all about it.
March is the Blackpool Balloon Bash. You
That's
weren't expecting
right.
that
I was.
one, or you were?
I was
Okay.
seeing if you remember that.
So yeah, it's a twisting event in Blackpool,
Like
in the
no
UK.
Toy Fair's more important. Oh, bless you, Luke.
And yeah, you get yourself over if you're. I think it's completely sold out anywhere now on the Blackpool Balloon Bash. There's some amazing instructors coming over. Alberto Nava,
Yes.
Toby Twist. There's a load of other. You can do a search for the Blackpool
I'll tell
Balloon
you what
Bash.
is important as well. I mean, it's slightly off topic, but it is on the topic of Luke. That jam was lovely. that you
All
brought
right,
over,
yeah,
and mine's
yeah.
ran out, and I'm very disappointed.
So you'll have to. We'll invite you back. Just so
Yeah,
you can
you're
bring more
invited
jam.
back, Luke, because we need more jam.
Yes. And then also, we're only going to go to the end of March, and that takes us to a big event, probably the largest event in Europe,
I would say so.
is Barchi
But Barchi, now there's
in
some
Milan.
fantastic names on that one this year. And
Thank you,
Jackie.
C.Y. Jackson.
Jackie Ochua.
Yeah, Jackie is going to come over to Barchi, and also Zoe, all the way from Australia.
Australia.
You would have said New
I was
Zealand.
going to say, at what
New
point?
Australia.
At what point, though, are they just going to call that Zealand? Because it's not new anymore.
Yeah, no. It's like New York.
Yeah.
It's just York.
York.
But we have the original. Still new by many hundreds of years.
True. There's also Alex and Nelly.
Yeah, Mildred.
Hernandez. Yeah.
Nelly Mildred and Alex Hernandez coming all the way from
right.
Mexico. They're going to be at Barchi too. So if you haven't booked a ticket and you're thinking about it,
You've got some great names coming from
Yeah.
far and wide on that one. So, Australia, Canada, Mexico.
there's loads. And then you've got the Italian instructors as well.
Yeah, and they're definitely worth seeing.
Alessandro's going to be there. Jackie's saying, looking forward to the Blackpool Balloon Bash. Off to Wisconsin for the big balloon build. Absolutely fantastic. Jackie,
nice.
Jackie, can you do us a huge favour? Can you, if you're friends with either me or Dom on Facebook, can you send us send a message, please? Just because, if you don't mind taking something, I wouldn't mind sending something off to Wisconsin. So, yeah, if you're grabbing...
Is it red wine?
It's not red wine. You're so mean. So please, Jackie, get in touch. That would be amazing if you could. Thank you. Right, okay.
Red wine for your suitcase.
I think what we're going to
Did anyone
do...
else pack this suitcase? No.
What we're going to do
me.
is I'm going to head into...
One sec, before you do that.
Oh, yes.
The list of everything that we've talked about.
Oh,
there,
yes.
That was a lot of information. We get that. And there may be new things that drop in.
Well,
There's
there are.
also
There's
some
more
regional
information on
ones
there.
that come in there as well.
There's a CBA exam in Tokyo as well. That's
Yeah,
in
I'm in
all
on that one.
And also... Well, yes, go on. Sorry.
So if you want any of that information and to keep kind of attuned to it coming out, I mean, I'm not sure about you, Keith, but where would you go if you wanted to find a good source of that information?
Well, I find that you can't go wrong with...
Qualitex.com.
That's right. So get yourself to qualitex.com or your regional
Tab at the
version
top
of that and have a
events.
look at the events.
It's the main tab that says events and
Yes.
it has everything there.
And
so.
you can search for the events in your region if that's what you
And
want.
by type
all
as well,
worldwide. Yes.
by type of event as well. So if
Now
it's
there-
an online one or the like. So
What's missing off there at the moment is in 2 weeks' time, we have a...
it 2 weeks?
Yeah. we have a webinar with the girls from Canada, Alex and Ellie Ventura, from Pasha Balloons. Pasha Balloons, not Pasha Creations. Pasha Balloons.
Hashtag broken pen. No, they give us some new ones.
Pasha Balloon Creations. There we go.
So this is pen version 2, because the first one they gave us just exploded and leaked.
Yes.
I don't know if it was intentional. But...
So they will be with us on the normal Q Corner show, doing a piece there. And
remotely. They're not with us in the studio, unfortunately. We'll have to save that for another day.
And also then they're going to be doing an exclusive Rockstar webinar straight after. So that is in 2 weeks' time. Yes. In January... we're going to be doing. There's going to be two webinars for the Rockstars.
We've got an action-packed January, February, March.
Yeah, you're not going to believe it, and April actually.
True. Yes. So watch out in the new year for that. But the I would say that's Jackie.
That is Jackie. Thank you very much, Jackie.
She just said no. The January though is our revised and updated personalization special.
Yes.
So we've done
the first 2 parts of it.
Yeah. So we've done a personalization one, but it's not that so much that it's outdated, but there's a few things that have been tweaked since then, and that's been going strong for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And then we did attempt to do another part of the personalization, but we got a lot more questions that we want to follow up on that one as well. So we're going to attack it in a slightly different way, and follow up with that one, and that's going to be January. So we're actually going to break that down into a few different parts in January, just to make it what we found is a more something that you can refer to the video.
Yeah, it's just going to be a lot more logical breakdown in smaller sections, and go, this is going to deal with this, this is going to deal with this, this is going to deal with this. So it makes it a lot more easier to follow.
Yeah, because what we're finding is what the biggest question we're getting from most of you guys out there is going, I know you did something about this, but where is it? And because it's within a conversation that we've had, it's a little bit harder to...
that personalisation special, which was 2 hours long.
Yeah, and it's sort of where is it in that special, and it's sort of blended across a few different topics. It is there, but it's not isolated. So we're going to break them down into, as Keith said, lots of little logical little nuggets, if you like, of personalisation information, where we'll just run through them all very separately, and we can index it.
Yeah, we'll chapterize it so that it makes it a lot easier to follow.
So it's a quick reference for you, and that makes it a lot easier.
And then in February, we should have a special guest in the studio. In March, we should have a special guest in the studio. And in April, we should have possibly 2 special guests in the studio as well. So the beginning of the year is looking absolutely incredible for Q Corner, and that is all down to you guys supporting the channel. So thank you. If you are not already subscribed, you should hit subscribe, get the notification bell on there, so that it means that if any new stuff comes out, you get notifications on there straight away.
Now, we will be doing some updates, no doubt, from Spring Fair, depending on how busy it is, if we get our cameras out. We won't be doing too much live, but we'll do a few different updates just to show you what it is and what's sort of on and what's new. It certainly doesn't replace coming to see us, though. 1, because you don't get the badge, and 2, you can have that good, as always, great conversations with the Pioneer team and get hands-on with some of that new product and have a look at it as well. So
absolutely.
Please, if you're thinking of coming, come and see us. We'd love to have a chat with you, throughout the day. And we're never. We every year someone says, I was going to talk to you. They might message us afterwards, say, but you were talking with someone else,
busy,
and we didn't want to interrupt.
No. Interrupt, it's fine, okay? We're there for everybody. No, just go in there and just stand
come and
there
join the
and
conversation. Just say hi, and I just want to talk about
in.
balloons, and we'll carry on talking about stuff. So please come and see us.
Because I don't know if you've noticed, but we quite like talking about balloons.
Yeah, unless
and
we're pretty good at talking
as well.
Sip a cup of tea, that's all. But so please come and see us, and don't ever think we're too busy. Just come on over, just give us the elbow, and we'll happily show you.
A bit of a secret as well is that if you are a Q Corner watcher, like you guys clearly are, because you're watching this and hearing this, you're kind of important to us as well. So please come and say hello.
100%.
Right. Okay. I'm going to head through.
We'll push someone else out the way for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't say it. Oh, it's out there for everybody to see now. I don't see that. Right, okay, I'm going through there, and then you're going to join me in a moment. Is that right?
Yes, go on, you go through there, and I'm going to check. I'm going to send you on your way, then I'm going to put
my mic on as well.
My headset on and make sure I've got some audio. Right, are you ready? Let me just make sure I've got you. I can hear you, I think. That sounds good. Right. Let me have a look on over at the studio.
In the workshop.
Can you see yourself there?
No.
Not yet. Right, okay. I'm firing you over now.
Excellent. And then I need the overhead on as a small. Is that right?
Overhead.
Hello, everybody. I'm in the workshop, and I'm going to cough already.
Do me a favour, Keith.
Yeah, I'll try my best.
Just check that you can zoom in on that overhead before I disappear and come round.
Oh, let's see if the voice activation system works as well. Shall we try that? I'll put that over there, and we go. Hey Siri, overhead zoom.
See, I'm faster.
It's
she
done.
Listened. She listened.
Hey Siri, overhead zoom. There we go. Perfect. Right. It is working, John. It's working. It's working enough. And here I am. Or here I am on there as well.
Excellent. I'm coming around now.
Because what we're going to do is, 2 weeks ago we had the amazing Tope in the workshop, and it's still a mess from then. But
is it his fault? Is it his fault that it's messy, or is it our fault?
Yes.
I'll go with Tope.
I'm just going to say yes. Come further over this way. That's better.
Bad planning on that.
Yeah. So we got some questions because Tope did the distortion flower of the poinsettia.
Yes.
And we got more questions
so
about
this wasn't questions on
that.
Tope's work. It was because Tope, as always, explains things very methodically and was excellent.
Oh, one second. I'm going to, you talk. I'm going to.
However, the questions were kind of a spin-off from those, as in they'd seen some other versions of flowers and wondered if it was the same technique, if it was done any differently, and kind of, you get the idea.
Because this is the distortion flower, that, or one of the petals from the poinsettia that Tope did last time, which he eventually ended up using in the frame as like almost like
now. If you're
fire.
not a Rockstar viewer, he did the petal on the main show, right?
He did the petal
on the normal Q Corner show with Tope. He showed this petal, and then he reused it in the Rockstar special with the
in a different way. He used it as flames on there.
Very clever, very cool, and
this is
brilliant.
Still one of the ones that he actually used from 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you're not going to get us doing more work.
Yeah. So but we got some questions about other styles of
petal distortion.
And so what we thought was we'd go through some basics and some concepts, and then we'd go through one of our favourites.
Yeah. So the thing is with the distortion techniques is being recipe driven.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to put this on, and so that we have some sort of chat. I'm sorry, but
okay, I've got you. Yeah. So recipe driven is a key part of the distortion technique, because there's many things that you can do with the balloons, and the idea being is we're going to take a balloon and put it inside another balloon, and that's going to be like the skeleton and the inside structure of that balloon, which creates amazing, weird and wonderful shapes. The tricky bit for most people is replicating the thing that they've already done. So you can often make one thing and go, oh, I love that, that was fantastic. However, the follow on, the second, the third, making them the same, that's where the challenge is. So having a recipe, and you might not have the recipe to start with, that's where the counting the strokes or using a digital sizer comes in really well.
Yes.
We do advocate, though, as much as we love, like we absolutely, hands down, think the premium equipment is fantastic. The Smart Twist does have digital sizing. However, for these particular styles of designs, we don't recommend digital equipment. The reason being is when you're doing something like a 260Q inside of a balloon, quite often our own sort of problems are we hold it too tight or it's kind of stuck.
It gets jammed on something, and then the digital sizer doesn't work fully.
You say go, and it goes.
Yeah, it doesn't work fully, or it can cause it to pop inside or something like that. So you can feel how you're going with the handful.
You can feel that it's trapped, and you can sort of ease back a little bit and readjust and do it. So there's a lot more sort of user feedback.
Forgiving.
Yeah, and user feedback with this. So definitely this kind of kit. Now we can use the 260Q
hand
Cortex.
inflator.
Yeah, or you can also use for more precise work for smaller designs, you can use the 160Q pocket pump, and sometimes the pocket pump works better when you're reusing a 260Q, because when you've got a 260Q with the nozzle, it's easy to go onto the hand pump, whereas sometimes once you've chopped that, it's a bit harder to get into. So when you've got that all your balloons in your hand and you're kind of messing around with it, sometimes it's easy to put that in. But if you're inflating it to a reasonable size, that's going to take a lot longer. So
yeah, and it's not as accurate as the hand inflator
options,
is.
but if you haven't got a hand pump, that's the one to go for. That's going to be the kind of belts and braces.
We're going to do a basic flower petal to start off with.
Okay.
So in this case, we've got an 11-inch chrome rose gold.
Now, why are we using chrome, Keith?
Because it's all about the chrome,
I mean, you wouldn't think he asked me to say that, so he could do that. But he did.
So what I'm doing first of all is just inflating it to stretch it out a little bit.
Show how good chrome is, okay?
Wow, yeah, see the focus there.
My eye.
Okay, and then we're going to take a 260Q. For this case, we're using green. Put that down, just because it's easier for you guys to see against the dark green against the black.
I mean,
background.
the giveaway is there's a big screen in front of us, and you can see where this is, but
yes,
never mind.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that inside of the 11-inch balloon.
I just had flashback there.
What to?
To Canada.
Oh, Canada.
When we pretended we clean our sides down with helium. And it was the time when there was a high point of helium shortage in Canada. I remember it because the whole row at the front went, I mean, we don't, but it was funny to see it.
Yeah, I know. And then I just let go of that 260 because I was too busy watching what you were doing.
You were invested in the story.
I actually thought you were going to come at me with some scissors.
I did consider it.
So
you've inflated the balloon, then choked, then you've taken the 260Q and folded it. Now, what was important there, though, which you've done, is when you folded it, you've not just done it in half.
No, half makes it harder to tie. You do it so that there's more of the tail end left than the nozzle.
Now, if you have got a set size and you know it doesn't use so much, you can actually put more of that out of there. Don't put more in than you need.
No, exactly. So from there, I'm going to go onto the nozzle of the 260Q, and then I'm going to make sure that it's inside there, and I'm going to do, let's do 5 strokes on this one, okay? Yep. So it's going to do a big petal.
Now, if you didn't know how many you were going to do, what you could do to start with was, I'll do it on the outside.
No,
you fix.
Yeah.
You've only got another hand pump.
Exactly.
Tope took it. Hashtag true story.
Well, I'll let you do it.
So before you even put it in the balloon, there's 1, 2,
4,
3, 4, 5.
5.
No, I did 5. If you watch this back and I've got like how long, I'm sorry, okay, because I forgot. So that's 5 strokes, and that's the loop size that we're going to get, okay? You can just have a play around and see what size you want. It's trial and error for the first couple until you've got something that works well for you. It's as simple as that. But what was important there is I did 5, and if I thought that was too big, I can fix that because I can do less.
Yeah.
And it's 4.
Or if it wasn't big enough.
Do more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So from there, I pull out the neck and I pull out the nozzle end, and I ignore the 11-inch and allow that to go down and just tie those two together. And then what happens is, as it goes down, as I let the air out from the outside, what it does is it gives us our basic distortion flower. Now, if you don't let all of the air out and you hold it on like this, it gives you these really cool petals.
I'm just going to show on the outside what you've done on the inside.
Oh, yeah.
And what to avoid as well. So I've got the balloon at the end there, so I've tied that off. So imagine that's what's coming out the end of that balloon. When this has come round on the inside, if you left too much of that balloon on the inside, that's the loop you'd get, and you'd have this very lazy, unstructured part. So what Keith's done, as he's pulled that through, he's pulling that balloon in closer to create the loop so it's together. What you don't want is that really loose direction there.
You want it nice and tight.
Must pull that through to make that as clean as you can.
And then from there, we can have that, and we just have multiple petals like this, or even take it down a little bit more so it still has a little bit of shape with it, and you get really nice flowers with this pedal shape,
Yeah.
right?
You can also put in like 5-inch or even 11-inch
Which is
into there as well.
the 5-inch is exactly what
That's
we
right,
did
yeah, for topes, yes.
for topes, which is underneath there. We put the 5-inch in there to give that
And
fancy shape.
what he's done on that one, he's inflated the 5-inch, tied it, but then released it.
Yes.
So it allowed it to go over to the end and put it where you want.
Yeah.
And in fact, we've done a really cool, and done it many times, a turtle design.
Yeah, turtle or mushroom, same
Yeah.
thing, with an 11-inch.
Yeah, and just so it makes it bigger. And again, it's just you create a skeleton on the inside of the
Yeah.
skin of this 11-inch balloon.
So what I can do is I can let all of the air out like this, and then if I bend these over, this gives us a different shape like this. And you can imagine if you have multiple multiple of these, and it creates like a bell-shaped flower,
Yeah.
which is a different style, yet still a very, very simple distortion method, right?
Yeah, and what's important is because you've done this to a set size,
Yes.
that means all of those are going to be very, very similar.
Very,
looking.
very similar.
And that's where, again, the questions have come is, how do you get them to look all the same?
Yeah, and it's just a stroke count, like Dom
Recipe.
said at the beginning, recipe driven, using the hand inflator. In this case, 5
Yeah.
strokes.
The
to get that
size of the 11-inch balloon that you inflated doesn't matter because you're letting the air out afterwards, and what's creating the structure and the size is the balloon on the inside.
Yep.
You can overinflate it. It doesn't matter. You can underinflate it. It just makes it a little bit harder to work with. It's just enough to allow that balloon to be inflated on
Yeah.
the inside and not struggle too much with it. And quite often with distortion, you're going to inflate and reinflate this balloon many times until you're finished.
Yes.
You just add some more air in. If this was in the wrong position right now, we could just add some more air in, maneuver it, and then let the air back out again. Mm-hmm. It's great.
So yeah, so it's a very simple way of creating petals for a flower from with another balloon distortion.
260Qs work well for it. 350Qs work well for it. 160Qs don't tend to have the structure, the strength to be able to kind of keep the balloon where it needs to be.
Yes.
It's not to say that you shouldn't use a 160Q because you might be able to use it as an additional balloon to create some sort of layering or depth to it. But for an overall structure to keep like an
Also,
11-inch balloon up, it's going to...
Yeah, and also just bearing in mind as well as 160s go down a lot faster than 260s to keep that structure.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't take much air loss out of a 160 cube before it suddenly kind
too
of...
soft and doesn't hold
Where the
structure.
260 is really forgiving, so
But-
that's kind of a winner for us.
What we want you to do is we want to show you one of our favourite styles.
Yes,
Yeah.
so that's going to be another...
Yeah, are you going to do it with diamond clear though first? Are you going to do it or you want me to do it? You do it.
Let's do it at the same time,
Okay.
with one with the chrome
Okay.
and one with the diamond clear, 'cause
Okay.
then they can see how it looks.
If you have any questions, put them in chat.
Yeah.
And we'll feel free to ignore them.
Oh, trusty coffee stirrer. You got one there?
I have
Great.
a coffee stirrer.
So Keith's going to do the end result one, the one that it's meant to look like. I'll do the one at the same time, but I'm going to use 11-inch diamond clear so you can see it. Now, if you've never done distortion before, I'm hiding, it's all right. My hair's sticking up as well, it's okay. Have a practice with diamond clear because doing it with this, you can see what's going on the inside. So then you've got a bit more familiarity with manoeuvring the balloon around and seeing what you're doing that's affecting it. It gives you the overall shape. Nothing replaces the end result of having the skin that's one colour over all those contours, but it does give you an idea if you're struggling on manipulating and moving things around. So, starting off with a 260Q and an 11-inch.
Okay. I'm just stretching out that chrome first of all.
Do the same. No, it doesn't need so much on the diamond clear.
And then I've got my 260Q in half. We have the coffee stirrer. It's important because we're going to put two 260s in. But if you're using it on here, if you just lie it flat across and then just go
The first one's not too
over
bad.
the top like that, and then it's not inside, it's just folded over it, so it makes it a lot easier for going in and then...
The first
taking
one's
it out
not
of
so
there.
bad because there's nothing really in the way, but it's the second and third ones if you're doing it that makes it a little bit more...
Do you want this in the middle?
No, it's all right.
Sure.
Yeah. If you don't create enough space, what can happen is it can restrict the inflation of the 260Q, which sometimes can alter the size of that balloon and also just get stuck and cause a bit of a dent or sort of bump in the road in it.
So, actually, you do it.
Okay. So this is the sort of
4 strokes.
the tricky bit, because we want to make sure that we don't lose the 2 ends from the 260Q. You want to create a seal on the 260Q. Exactly.
Not that kind of seal.
Nope. On it goes. And then, without losing any of the ends, try and get that. So you've got a hold of those 2 balloons. That loops free on the inside. It's going to be 4 strokes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Had to say out loud, otherwise I'd lose count. At this point now, though, we don't mind losing air out of the 11-inch balloon. So don't worry about it.
4.
Because I think this is where people struggle and go, oh, don't lose any air. It doesn't matter.
Doesn't
we
matter
put
about
it
the
back in this. It's the 260Q that's important. So firstly...
Also, at the moment, the government haven't figured a way of taxing air,
We've got to
it's still
stop saying
free.
this. Got to stop saying this, otherwise they'll get us. Right, take the 2 ends out, tie them together. Got it?
I'm just going to chop the necks off, so I don't need them.
Now, depending on what you're doing, though,
Yeah.
you do or don't chop the necks off.
Yeah.
So if in doubt, leave the necks in until you're finished.
Yes.
Okay?
So
but as Keith's done this one, and he knows,
I know that I'm not going to be
he
using
knows
them
he can chop the necks
so-
off and he can be happy with it. However, what you do need to do is make sure
You're welcome, Michelle, by the way.
that the
Michelle
orientation...
saying thank you for showing it with the clear, because it's important.
Well, you're like, oh, well, that's a brilliant balloon, but
I know,
what's going on on
yeah,
the
yeah,
inside?
yeah,
Yes,
so-
exactly. So, but this is a great way to practice, though, as well, because
Yes.
you know what you're doing there. So this is going back to what you've just done, though.
Yeah.
The other one, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yes. Are you going to use the lime green so that you can actually
Yes.
see it's 2 different colours? Wow,
Yeah, see?
check you out.
Hey!
He's like a professional.
It's
I mean, like a professional.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
just-
not going all the way,
like a
people.
professional.
We're not going all the way.
As in similar.
Oh, look at these new scissors as well. Oh, yeah. Oh, cute corner. They'll be available.
Right, second one, come on.
Oh, jeez, man. Oh, I thought you had my stick.
No, I got the other stick, remember?
We're not going to get to watch this football, you know.
Got 18 minutes.
Oh, we can do this. Right. I, of course, squeeze all my air out because
I know
I'm
it.
so to the others.
And
But
you
this
twisted
one,
this as
it's
well.
all right.
That's going to be interesting.
Not the point. Shh.
He's a professional.
Reinflates.
Just so you know, it's so much easier if you have a small air
It is.
inflator. This is the micro air, or we call it the beer mug. We have this. Well, we have one of these on our main station. We inflate 3-foot balloons with it, and we use it with our puff and stuff. It's a great workhorse and one of the most inexpensive air inflators
We have one
you
that
can
sits
get.
in the van as well, so
Yeah.
you know, just kind of emergency, quick inflations. That and the size and box panel works brilliantly. So we do love that one.
Yes. So Dom's doing, again, 4 strokes with the hand pump, but he's done it on 2 different coloured greens so you can see it, and he'll be able to put it on the overhead cam as well. And if we want a close-up on the overhead cam,
Go
let's see if it'll
on.
work. Hey Siri, overhead zoom. One moment, she's sorting it. There we go, see,
Thanks.
look at that.
Thanks, Siri. So,
And you can see it above there. Are you going to show it just pure on here? It'll work,
yeah,
right?
so mine have sort of gone crossed over, and this is representative of what's probably going to happen to most people as well. So we want these to actually sit on top of each other, so 2 loops and sat identical on top of each other. So to make that easier to happen, I'm going to put some more air in, because there's no point in struggling. This is where, especially when you've not done it before, keeping the ends still on helps, so it doesn't disappear off into the wrong position. So I've still got a hold of them, but I can manoeuvre this around. Now, if it doesn't want to move because the balloon's too tight with those scissors, just allow some air to go out, and then we can just manipulate that as it goes down. There we go. So they've just now popped into place. So you can see they're lined up, and they're sitting quite happy. There's a little bit more loose balloon there, but that doesn't matter because you can't push them all in just yet. So we're just making sure that they fit into position. So
Yeah.
let's Keith catch up. So he's at the same stage.
What happened was when I tied the balloon off, I managed to create a burn.
Yeah, probably
on the
one of the most common errors that you can do, and it happens to the best of us,
Yeah.
is as you're manipulating the balloon, you're either forcing air past a piece of balloon where it's really tight, so the friction of the air going past it can burn it, or perhaps you're pulling that balloon. Say for me,
mine was on the tie-in.
Yes, so the tying the 260 ends there. Yeah, so if you as you're pulling that loop out, especially if you have too much in there as well, as you're pulling that out, then that creates a friction between the two surfaces of the latex as well. So just go cautiously on that one.
Yeah.
But it does happen, and that's where a little bit of practice comes in.
So I just got rid of it. I just I cut the end off so that it deflated, and then I could pull it out.
Yeah, you don't have to lose the whole piece, right? You can just salvage it by cutting that one piece, deflating that out, ejecting out the bottom.
Which is exactly what I did.
And go again.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4.
Ha, ha, ha.
Count with the count. And then pull that up. Tie off once, and the second time.
Yeah, it's important as well to do the 2 ties, because the 1 knot won't stay together. You do need 2 knots. And if you are cutting off the excess, you do need to make sure that you've cinched that up tight as well on that knot.
And then what I'm doing is I'm doing this so that I'm sitting the 2 balloons on top of each other.
You didn't cut that really close either.
No.
You left a little bit of excess. Happy New Year! You left a little bit of excess on top of that
Just
knot.
enough to burst that.
Yeah, just enough to burst that, which is ideal.
And what I like to say is, if job's worth doing, it's worth doing 3 times.
100%. I'm all in on that. You know me. Do it once, do it twice, 3 times is a winner. But yes, don't cut it too close, otherwise it'll just come undone. And if it doesn't come undone, you can just burst it. What I also find is by doing it on a live YouTube show, that's also the best way to make it
make sure that it bursts.
Absolutely,
which I've done a ton of these. I've never had a burst.
That's why I'm laughing. I mean, kids crying on the inside because his Cavonia's run out. Cavonia! Living the dream.
Show them the next bit.
All I want for Christmas is a balloon that you didn't burst. Right, so when you finish messing on with that, Mr. Sturman, we're going to manipulate this. And we're going to take this green loop and push it down
through the green loop
into the bottom one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to inflate it on the outside first to show what we're doing, and then do it on the inside of the balloon. Because I feel my words cannot describe the action I'm about to do.
So you're going to show them, not even in a diamond clear.
It's going to be like it's in a diamond clear, but not in a diamond clear.
You're going to do it outside of a diamond clear. Just 2 260s outside.
The lengths we go to.
Unbelievable.
I mean, Keith's done this 3 times
it's
for you.
Never.
Right.
Unheard of. Right. We'll say that again. Right. I have my 2 ones that are sitting on top of me. Come on, hurry up.
So this is what we've got at the moment. It's slightly shaped this way. And what we're going to do is take one of the loops and it's just going to drop down inside.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the overhead, okay? So you can see it from the front as well.
So put them back to where they were. So they're currently sitting like this in the balloon. And we're going to take one of the loops, it doesn't matter which one because they are identical in size. I'm going to just push that down so then it sits underneath that one, but the top part still stays on the top.
Yes.
Okay? And that is going to be the structure. And when it comes in, that's going to be squeezed a little bit more like so. And then we're going to nip the top bit to give it a bit more shape as well.
So on the inflated one, I'm just taking these top sections here and I'm putting it to the other side and I'm letting the air through. So I just manipulate that so it's through that side, and then this side I just nip them together. And of course, because I've got a broken piece of balloon in there, in the way, so I'm just inflating it.
You tell me when you've finished messing around with this.
I'll honestly.
Up to date.
You know, you said that we had 12 minutes for that match.
You said 12 minutes. I was optimistic.
Right.
Show some love in the chat, people. He's struggling.
I'm fine.
He's dying inside.
I'm good.
He's trying to stifle a cough.
I am, but I am definitely doing that bit.
Beautiful.
Right, there we go.
It's like you've done that. It's like you've done that before.
Yeah, once or twice. Okay, So
let me catch up to you now. So you've just pushed that down like we talked about.
Yes.
So I've just added a bit more air in. So I'm ready to manipulate this. I'm going to take that 260Q lime green and I'm going to push that down under the normal green. And there we go. So now mine has got the lime green tucked under the green and that one's still on the top there. So as you can see, it's just looping through.
it looks
itself.
like it's a twist on there.
Yeah.
But they come through on one side and then the higher on the other.
Now, and you can also, you can shape them as well, create a bit more definition. So I'm just going to squeeze that bit there.
What we want to do is that we really want to. I mean, it's nice anyway as a shape. It's an
Again,
interesting shape.
it's whatever level you want it.
Yes.
So some people might go, oh, I like that, I'm happy.
Yeah,
Or,
if
in
you
fact,
I'm just looking at the top thing there. It's pretty cool as a shape by itself.
yeah, you could actually add a little bit of air into that now and sort of let it puff up a little bit. So it creates a bit of a sort of a more of a rounded top to it, and having these extra shapes you pick up in. It's a play around, but what's important is, again, making sure that you are aware of the sizes and everything that you've done.
4 strokes. It's 4 strokes and 4 strokes.
Yeah, and then if you're going to put some air in, make sure you do it the same. So a common way of doing it is squeeze the air out so it's down to its base amount, then do a stroke count of adding air into it.
So you get the same amount
Same in each one, yes.
So, but what we want to do with this is actually we want to show off this styling, these features even more so. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove all of the air from inside of it.
Yeah.
And
Now there's one way of doing it,
Yeah.
which is not saying it's not the best way, but it's not the
way we do it.
furthest way you can go. Is simply you can just squeeze. So we're just going to squeeze this balloon, and I'm trying to squeeze into the cavities and the gaps. Once I've squeezed it, I can then hold it, and you can see straight away we've got a bit more definition.
So again, squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and holding onto there, and again it's the same, and it's got a nice definition on there, and it's
works great, and it's fast, efficient,
and it's fast,
and
and if that's what you're wanting, I mean, actually that's really nice. Actually, this one's come out really nice from doing it that way. But some people want it; they want it more, so it's more defined. So the way that we do that is by using the hand pump again.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is
this is definitely better with
two people.
It makes it easier. You can do it on your own, but it is a bit more of a struggle.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm stretching out the neck and I'm putting it onto the bottom of the
Hand pump.
hand pump, and the reason for that is that we know on the hand pump there is an air intake on the bottom. So what we're going to do is, as if we show it on there, and then you pull that, it's actually taking the air out of there. Once it's done,
you can feel when it's stuck. There's two things that can happen here. One is you've actually taken out all the air, or actually you've created a block here. So just check before you commit. Make
so
sure
once it's sucked in like that, we pull up and we twist it, and then hold onto this part and take that off. And then from there, I can tie that off. And then we have all of the air removed from inside of this.
I mean, that's so tight. The unfortunate debris from earlier. You can see that layer
as well from that debris.
Which is fantastic to show how clean and tight it is. But obviously on this one, it does show your error. But it's funny.
Yeah, but it's perfect, right? It's shrink wrapped for its vacuum packed.
It's absolutely not what you'd expect a balloon shape to be.
No, that's not a balloon anymore, right? It's a piece of art.
It's a work of art.
It is. It's a work of art. So if we reproduce that work of art, and we'll do it. We got. So we got into some 2, and also as a 3. So then we twist them together to make our 5. Then from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to face them all downwards. And I'm going to take
a fab shape.
Yeah. So as you can see from the top there, I'm going to take a cluster of 5, which are 2 strokes on hand pumps.
So this is chrome 7-inch silver.
Yeah. And then I'm just going to take that down like this.
You need to make sure when you inflate those, it doesn't matter if it's electric or hand inflator, make sure that you pull that balloon down. Because it's a 7-inch balloon and it's fairly underinflated for what size it could go to, pull it right down. So when you inflate it, it gives, one, the colour stretch, but more importantly, the structure. Yeah. Because if you just do a sort of a loose inflation, that'll be really soft and you're going to struggle putting this together. It's just going to keep moving on you.
So I'm taking a neck from there and I'm going to go all the way through to the opposite side on here. and have it sit in the set of the 5, and then I'm just going to go so it's wrapped in slightly, and then we're going to add in our finishing touch.
We'll go through this in a second.
Yeah, which this is this is exactly the same or very, very similar to what Tope did last
that's right, of
week.
course,
yeah, but there's a very slight difference which we'll talk about in a moment. But I'm just got the neck from underneath there, so I'm tying it in there with our
And of course, there's no set
apple
recipe
twist.
to this, because you could do another layer of some 5-inch, very small in there, then add that in. You've got so many different versions. You don't have to do it this particular way, but these do add a lot of animation to the centre of that. And again, in the chrome, just look fab.
Yes, and looking down, you can see there, it looks absolutely fantastic. Or if I turn it on here as well, it just gives you a very, very different distorted flower technique.
You can probably even go to 7 petals on that as well. Yeah.
Or you can do it the 3 and 3.
Yeah.
So 3 on one layer, 3 on the second layer, and so it fills in the gaps. So give
options. That's the thing.
But it's super. It's really, really cute and beautiful and very, very different.
Yeah.
Luke said in there, strangely enough, once all the air's been taken out, it will slowly start reinflating the next few days. It does. That's partly because the 260Qs also they deflate, so they've got a lot of surface area, so they'll let the air out of them slowly, which causes the outside the balloon outside of it to slightly reinflate too.
It's a living being though, so it's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. So the more air you get out in the first place, the better, because the longer it's going to last.
But also, as you said earlier as well, when you're tying the 260Q together, be careful not to overwork it so you don't burn it, because you might have the structure still, but that slow leak, the air's going to stay in the overall balloon, but it's going to create the difference between the 260Q and the 11-inch balloon as well. So
I'll just zoom in there.
Practice.
Look at that.
Practice. And like everything else that you practice, especially something with the technique like this, is practice and keep it.
Yeah.
You know, everything that we've always made that's a bit different and we haven't done those techniques before, we make it and we jot the date down, because we forget everything. We jot the date down, normally just write on it with a Sharpie, so we know when we've made it. So we can kind of keep an eye on these things to go, well, actually, you know what, that looked fantastic for 2 weeks or 1 week or 3 weeks or 6 months or whatever it may be. So some designs we know it's going to look great for a week, but it'd be okay for 2, 3, 4 weeks.
Yes.
Some designs not so much, some designs more.
Yeah.
But when you know, it's fine, because you're now selling it with that in mind, with confidence and setting expectations far better. The Dopplers, the doodads.
Yeah, the Doppler.
So these ones were just done with some 260Q chrome. We did this I'm going to say the simple way, because we're just using the end of a 260Q to make it. Now the ones that Tope did, he did, and it was more economical.
Yeah, because you do 2 out of every 260.
You know what? That's not words I would normally use at Tope. More economical. However, he did it, and he had the little tying points on there as well. Yes, and you know what? For most, and
we've got that around somewhere, haven't we, Sal?
I may have thrown it at you earlier.
You did throw it at me earlier. I know. 1 second. I know where it is. I'm just coming.
For the scale of the design that it was going into, it was perfect. It really was. It was the right thing, and you know what? You really wouldn't see them at the scale and the definition.
Just so you know as well, 2 weeks later, and they're still fine.
Yeah. So they've got the Doppler on the top, but it has got the knot on there as well, which, as I said,
might not be able to see. You'll be able to see more of it on the top of there.
But again, though, for the point though, Keith, is where it was going, it's absolutely fine.
Oh, absolutely.
But if you want the detail where you don't see that, it's achievable.
Yeah.
It does mean you're going to need to use the end of a 260Q though to get that. A little bit of a stretch at the end of that balloon, just to weaken that off a little bit. 160Q pocket pump's great for this.
It's much better than a hand inflator.
Goes into that balloon easier.
Yeah.
My way of doing it that I've found the most successful for me is I just bunch that 260Q down a good way, and then as I inflate it, it generally does the reverse inflation by doing that. I don't worry too much that I've got that too big. I want it smaller because I want it more delicate, but I'm going to use the opportunity while that's at the end to just force that and really help weaken the end of that balloon. I'm going to work my fingers down, because this bit here, I don't know if you can see this is uninflated. I've trapped it here. I've got my inflated chamber here, and an overinflated bubble. Yeah. But if I bring my fingers down to the end, it's already going to lose some air from the top. Now I can squeeze that and control it to get it to the size that I want. I'm squeezing it there and just letting just a little bit out at the end. When I'm happy with the size, I can then tie that, and that creates the centerpieces. We do multiple ones of these. We tie them together just using a scrap of 260Q to create one
Just
bunch.
exactly as Torpe did. Like
Then we can add it into that
apple
apple twist in there as well. And there's a million different variants of that.
Yes.
But it's just that people were saying that, do you have to have the knot on the end? No, you don't.
No.
And actually, for a lot of the cases, it's fine to have it because you'll never see it. It's only us who will scrutinise it, and yourself when you're making something. So you have to work
It's
out.
also it's the difference between the flower that was getting put on a piece where you're going to be standing back and looking at, compared to something that you're going to be close up to, where it makes a difference, right?
So on something that you're doing close, you want to make sure you've got the detail right, and who you're doing it for, what's the budget, what's the scale that we're working to, where it's going to be, does it need this level of extra work versus maybe the slightly shortcutted version of being able to do it.
Well,
with,
yeah, it's,
like the
you're
half.
halving the number of the balloons that you're using on there.
So what's more important, the budget or detail, and that's the scope of the project. So
yes,
all options.
But that's absolutely fantastic, and we're done. Are you going back to do that to finish off? And now we'll do that. You can imagine the demo Gorgon kind of thing as well. I know Dom made that reference last time with them, but it is from Stranger Things kind of demo Gorgon-y look because of it's a little bit more organic, I think, on there.
Right, are you coming through?
I am.
Right, there we go. So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to check out Qualitex.com though for all the upcoming dates.
That is cute though. That is cute.
It is.
Yeah, and also as well as it is all about the chrome.
It
about
is.
The chrome. That does really make a difference.
And it's all about the recipe as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So with that,
rinse and repeat. So don't forget to put in your diaries, please.
in 2 weeks'
2 weeks' time,
Alex and Ellie are going to be on the telly.
Yes, so you can join them, and they hopefully will be available
In the chat.
as well, whilst for both shows.
Yes. So at 6 p.m. UK time, so same normal time. It's going to be the show for everyone, and then if you are a Rockstar member, thank you very much. You can join us an hour later for the over hour long, at least an hour webinar.
Yes.
For our members.
And ask your questions as we go, as always, please.
Yes. Other than that, thank you very much
Yes.
for staying with us, because we know that it kicked off 3 minutes ago for those that are watching it. What's that saying? The problem is, thank you. We'll practice.
Yes. Recipe. Count the strokes. 4
strokes for if you're doing that style on an 11
And if that's the
inch.
wrong size for you, just remember what you've done so you can adjust it as you go.
Yeah. Have a go. Put it on Instagram if you're on Instagram. And tag us in to it. It's at Q Corner Show, at Q Corner _show, I think it is.
And as always, we do get questions in between the shows. If you don't feel like putting them in the chat or messaging on a video that's already out there, we're quite happy for you to message us in between. And if it's something that you've seen you're not quite sure about, something you've seen elsewhere, and you want us to kind of talk about it, we love having those messages.
Yeah, any
Always
subject,
happy,
any subject in the balloon industry. If you have questions about it, if you're thinking about it, somebody else is.
I would say most people who message us always say, "Sorry for messaging you."
Yeah, sorry for messaging.
Apologies
for I know it's a stupid question, but no,
prerequisite.
Ask the question.
Never
please.
a silly question, never a stupid question, and we love receiving them. So
We do.
please do, and don't apologise.
Okay, and thank you guys for taking time out of your day and watching this. We shall see you in 2 weeks' time for the next episode of Q Corner.
Yes, see you then.
Bye
for now.